For the man on my left, Booner, filling in for Easy as he's up north for another wedding. It's pretty weird. Convenient that he's got these weddings on Fridays.
Yeah, it might, if it becomes, I mean, I'm on the desk when he is at a wedding. So
yeah, you're calling all his friends like, hey, get married.
He can go to weddings on Fridays. I don't care.
That's pretty. I'm just saying, pretty convenient. If Friday comes around, Easy's got another wedding, can't make it.
Man's allergic to a 5-day work week.
Yeah, well, facts. That's facts. You know, we got Chris Platty in the TD booth and Lucas Klotz on the ones and twos. We just got done talking about our expectations for some of the Lions rookies and what we think they're going to do next year. Now, this is something that surprised me when I saw it. I mean, I knew it. I knew it was true, but when you see it on paper, it's a little startling. The Lions are balling on a budget this year. They've got a lot of top quality players on rookie deals or fourth round draft pick deals. And as of right now, Sam Martin, the punter, who's a great punter, great punter.
Unreal.
Or Jack Fox.
Jack Fox.
Yeah, Jack Fox.
One of the best in the league.
Not Sam Martin. Sam Martin was a punter before that. Jack Fox, the punter.
Shout out to Jack Fox.
Shout out to Jack Fox.
Great guy.
Yeah, friend of the show, friend of the network. He's making more money annually than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Chris, do we have this graphic? Throw it up real fast.
Yes, sir.
It's startling to see it.
No, this is crazy.
Jack Fox is making more money than Amon-Ra St. Brown via cap hit in 2023.
Which is crazy.
Jack Fox is a fantastic punter, one of the best punters in the league. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best players on this team.
You know what it reminds me of, though? Like, we've talked a lot the last year about this quarterback 12% rule. And when you have that situation going on, what was the one thing that we talk about all the time with it is finding rookies on cheap deals to be able to win. That's just what I think of when I first see that, is like finding a cheap deal, a wide receiver, a rookie, and Brad Holmes just doing his job in the draft to get us guys cheap contracts to go win. And you can start paying guys, which we're going to have to start paying guys. That's going to happen like very, very soon. But that's just how, when I look at that, that's all it is just Brad Holmes has done a great job in the draft. He has found Pro Bowl guys. He has found all-pro guys in the draft. And now we're benefiting from that this next year or two. And that's why I think that, like, the window isn't, like, obviously we want to build kind of the next 4 or 5 years on these guys we have. But that window with that quarterback that you don't have to pay, it's a year or two window. That 12% rule that Easy talks about all the time, I'm in Easy's chair for a reason. I agree with him for that 12% rule. I'm side by side with Easy on the 12%
He's
rule.
Booner.
And I am Booner.
It's true. He is Booner.
Brad Holmes is just cooked up, and he has these guys. Panay Sewell, let's look at his contract. He hasn't re-signed yet. Go look at his contract. I bet you it's something similar. So, I mean, not similar because Amon-Ra was
fourth round pick.
But you know what I'm saying?
Still
like,
rookie deals.
These cheap deals. Like, it's Aiden Hutchinson for the next 3 or 4 years. So Brad Holmes is just cooked. That's all that graphic means to me, is that he's cooked. He's done his job in the draft. We're going to have to start extending guys, and he's going to have to keep cooking in the draft.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's what happens when you have these kind of drafts that Lions fans and some of the NFL have never seen before. When you're pulling a guy who is thought of as a top 10 receiver in the NFL by a lot of people out of the 4th round. You're pulling 2 starters out of the 6th round. 2 defensive rookie of the year, like leading vote getters in Malcolm Rodriguez and James Houston out of the 6th round. These things don't just happen every day. But it seems like every year for Brad Holmes, it fucking happens. He just keeps doing it. He keeps finding the gold, and he's building this shit, and it's sustainable because he keeps doing it. Because he's not hankered down, because he's not like, oh shit, we have to sign all of these first-round picks. Obviously, Penei Sewell, he's going to get signed. I've talked about this before. Penei Sewell will, at some point, be the highest-paid lineman in the NFL. He's going to get a bag. I want him to be a Detroit Lion for his entire career. He is my favorite player on the team.
That'll be awesome.
Love that guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's going to get a bag. He's going to get $20 million. Like, he's not going to get less than a Christian Kirk. He's not going to accept less than that. So you're going to have to pay these guys. And that's where you build your core. That's where you have those guys that you pay. And the guys that you look at, that, like, all right, these are the guys we're going to pay, we're going to commit to long-term for these fat contracts. Obviously, it's still a couple years down the road for a couple of these guys, but it's a Kirby Joseph, it's an Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's a Penei Sewell, it's an Aiden Hutchinson, and then you can continue to insulate them with these cheap deals, cheap rookie contracts, keep finding diamonds in the rough like an Amon-Ra St. Brown or a Malcolm Rodriguez or a James Houston, and have your core set, and then just keep feeding great talent out of the draft.
You get your core set, and it's like we've seen this with like the Chiefs. We've seen it with all these different franchises. The Packers did it for so long. Like all these teams have done it. The Lions are finally doing it. They're finally building a franchise with a great core to where you could potentially just be good for the next 4 to 5, 6 years with these guys. And I mean, Spenny, we have to kind of address the fact, though, some of these guys we're going to have to move on from because there aren't going to be, like, you can't.
There's not enough money to throw around.
Yeah,
man.
so like that's where I'm at with it. Is that you're going to have to move on from some guys, pick and choose who you want. Who's going to be that heart of the team and that core of the culture that you've already built?
Yeah,
that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell culture. Those are the guys you want to keep. But you're going to keep drafting dudes that you. And Brad Holmes has done it the last 2 or 3 years. He knows the guys he wants, and he's gone out and he's gotten those guys.
Like I said, love a lot of guys on this team, love a lot of players, but there is only so much money to go around.
Yep.
And if I'm looking it down and I'm making a list of saying, guys, I need to sign long-term after their rookie contract, the 4 that stand out are the 4 I just said. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson. Those guys can't leave the building.
Yeah.
They need to be Lions. They need to stay here.
The 2 top guys I wrote down was Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Like those are the 2 guys I would rather keep out of anyone because those guys have been the culture the last year through this rebuild. Amon-Ra has broken all these records. Penei has been the heart of that offensive line. And I did write down, Spenny, I don't know if you know where I've been with the Jared Goff situation where I'm like, I do not want to pay him $50 million. No. But I did write him down just based on the fact
piece of shit.
At the end of the season, though, this is what I wrote down. At the end of the season, if Jared Goff wins us the NFC North and wins us some playoff games, you have to look at extending him for $40 million where the market's at right now because it will go up. That is factual, Spenny. And I've been on your guys' side with Jared Goff forever. I go look at my YouTube, go look at my old shows. I have been on the Jared Goff where it's like we're not paying him. But when you really break it down, if he goes and wins you what you expect, give him that $40 million and move on. But you have to wait till the end of the season because if he doesn't, if we don't win the NFC North, I'm moving on to Hendon Hooker so fast.
How dare you sit in that chair?
Yeah, how dare you sit in that chair?
Someone have Easy calling right now. Easy has been on the Booner Sports Show 100. You have too, Spenny, 100 times. And the main topic usually is Jared Goff. I do not want to sign him to a $50 million deal, $40 million deal.
Yeah.
But if he goes and wins us and proves to us that he can lead this team in this culture, I just don't want this culture to fall apart if a guy leaves. And for him to be the quarterback,
I think this culture is stronger than the quarterback or a singular player. I think it starts from Brad Holmes. Well, it starts from Sheila Fordham. And then it goes to Brad Holmes.
That's a fact.
And then it goes to Dan Campbell. And then it is exuded amongst the players and the rest of the coaching staff. One player leaving this team, whether it be quarterback, which is the most important position, obviously, or not, is not going to change the culture.
But you sign him to a 2-year extension. You don't have to give him 5 years. Give him a 2-year extension. 2 years, $40 million a year.
You want like a Daniel Jones contract, something like that,
or a Geno Smith. But if he wins you something this next year, like Hendon Hooker,
do you think if you're fucking Jared Goff, you're coming off of more than likely a second Pro Bowl season in a row, an NFC North championship, multiple playoff wins, you're going to be like, a 2-year extension will be enough for me?
But offer it to him, and if he takes it, good. We have a guy for 2 years while Hendon Hooker is still a rookie.
He's not going to sign. He wants stability. He's going to want a bigger contract. He's not going to sign a 2-year deal.
Okay, then that's a fair conversation we can have.
He's not a Geno Smith. This isn't a one-off.
When that comes around, we can have that conversation because I have talked about that before to where he's not going to take a pay cut. But that $40 million a year in a year is going to be 12%. So you could get him at $40 million now when he wins.
So you want to do it right now? You would have to do it right now.
No.
If you want it now, you'd have to do it right now.
No, I wrote down on my paper, if anyone can see here, I wrote end of season. I want to see what this man can do. If he brings an NFC North championship to Detroit, give him another year.
You're living in fucking fantasy land. If he brings an NFC North championship to Detroit, if he brings a playoff win to Detroit, if he has another Pro Bowl caliber season, he's not going to be like, yeah, I'll take 20% less than market value and only a 2-year contract. No, that's not how it works.
That's a fair point. Yeah, no, because we've had people in the chat months ago talking about that, and I've disputed that, saying Jared Goff is going to take the money.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. I'm just, if that deal comes around and he's like, hey, I'll take 40, and we just won, if he does, because he's already made a ton of money.
He's not going to.
If he does.
He won't.
But Hendon Hooker, rookie deal.
That's what that is.
I just don't.
Drafting Hendon Hooker is the insurance to that. It's you're not bent over the Jared Goff barrel anymore. Now you have all right. Yeah, you did great. We appreciate you. Here's what we're willing to pay. If you're not going to take it, twos.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with
that.
Are you worried at all though for Hendon Hooker next year? Because that's technically his rookie year. Are you like coming off an NFC North win?
If we lose Ben Johnson, I would be.
Well, you're most likely going to lose Ben Johnson, and if Jared Goff takes
shut your whore mouth.
That's just a fact. Like everyone knows that.
You shut.
If we want to talk about Adam sat up here for months saying Ben Johnson, this is his last season.
Ben Johnson burned my crops. He's not going anywhere. He's staying in Detroit.
I don't know.
They just gave
Unless
him a
you want to give him
bag.
some money out of your own salary, but I'm
like, what jobs realistically will be open next year for him? If the Chargers open up, that's one.
There's so many coaches.
Every year there's going to be 4 or 5 open.
You know that, man.
Yeah, but
now you're living in.
Shut up!
You're living in fantasy.
Shut up!
All right,
Ben Johnson staying forever. I'm not fucking leaving.